6 Philadelphia police officers now face decades behind bars in what officials there are calling one of the worst corruption cases in decades. Mind you, this is Philadelphia. They seem to know a little bit about corruption there. Here are the pictures of the 6 cops, and what they're accused of is unbelievable. All 6 either current or former narcotics officers. Over the years, the feds say they stole more than $500,000 in drugs and cash and other stuff from suspects. But that's really just the beginning. Investigators say these men often beat and kidnapped suspects. In one incident, investigators say an officer dangled a man over the edge of an 18th-story balcony to get information. At the same time, they say another officer or other officers stole a few $1,000s worth of stuff from the guy's place and ordered a pizza to pass the time. The feds say the officers even came up with a game in which they scored points by coming up with ways for defendants to be abused. The list goes on and on. Here's how the police commissioner reacted today.
I can say that I've been a police officer for more than 40 years, and this is one of the worst cases of corruption that I have ever heard.
One of the worst they've ever heard. Again, we're talking Philly. The city is zero stranger to police corruption. In fact, a former officer who pleaded guilty to stealing from a drug dealer a few months ago is now helping with this investigation. Of course, the commissioner also points out these 6 cops do not represent the majority of the department. Either way, courts have overturned dozens of drug cases as a result of this very investigation. The officers, each has pleaded not guilty. One lawyer said the feds should not be rushing to judgment. Another reportedly says the accusations are coming from a, quote, bunch of police-hating drug dealers. Marie McAvoy is with us now. She's a former federal prosecutor. Marie, these accusations are stunning.
They are, and it's over a period of many, many years on top of it, which makes it even worse. So it gives a black eye to all law enforcement. It's a terrible thing when things like this happen. You hope that there's evidence to support these charges from the prosecution point of view, of course, if this is in fact true. But it's a terrible thing all the way around.
There's a lot to sort through here for a prosecutor.
There is. But apparently what happened is they got somebody last year, one of these police officers involved with this, and he decided to cooperate. So through that, they then expanded the investigation, as often happens, and they got these 6 guys through that cooperator's assistance.
You wonder if it sounds like these guys might be living above their means. I mean, there might be some telltale signs there.
Right. Well, that's usually what happens. I actually, unfortunately, came across a group of DEA agents many years ago when I was a federal prosecutor who were doing similar things, maybe not to the extent, but they were involved with the drug dealers, and one of them wound up being arrested, a few of them wound up being put out of the DEA. And it happens, and the one sign in that case, and as is often the case, was that one of the folks was wearing a lot of jewelry, was traveling a lot, had a fancy car, eating at very expensive restaurants. It's possible law enforcement people don't make a lot, but some of them have other means of income. But in that case, certainly that was the sign.
You wonder how many cases are in jeopardy because of this. It's been going on for a long time, according to prosecutors.
That's a huge problem, because now one of the issues that already has been raised here is, what about the other cases where these officers were involved? Could there have been lies by the officers that made it so that other people then wound up pleading guilty when they otherwise wouldn't have, where there wasn't anything that they had actually done? Could they have set up situations? There are all kinds of questions there. And now the DA's office in that area is going to have to go back, review those cases. Defense attorneys are going to go back and review them, and some of those convictions may get set aside, even where people did do something wrong.
Marie McAvoy, it's nice to see you. Thank you.
Nice to see you.